Welcome back. It's Wednesday the 15th of February 2023. I've only just came up to the allotment and it's 12 o'clock. Just had a bit of a leisurely morning this morning, just lazing about. Very unusual for me, but I thought, yeah. So yesterday, Tuesday, we were going to come up and do the water bottle test and we didn't get that done to see if it leaks. Because there was a job down home needed doing, so I ended up pressure washing all of the backyard, weeding all of the planters. All the tulips are starting to come up now. I pulled out two red-leafed trees out of the pots. The pots weren't big enough for them, so I brought them up here. They're dead at the moment, but they're in winter dormancy, but we'll dig a couple of holes somewhere and drop them in. If they survive, they survive, and if they don't, they don't. I'm just having this cup of coffee. I've just had some food, and then we're going to go over. I'm going to do a water test on the barrel. Right, you win some, you lose some. So the first thing I done was I topped this water up past the tap, only to find out it was pouring out. Because I thought this being turned this way was the closed position. Anyways, so the good news is the tap is holding the water. There's still water in the bottle. The bad news is, as you can see, we had water leaking out of here. It wasn't much, so what I've done is I've drained the water back down below the level, and I was trying to put some of the black fire cement round, and the water was just making it turn to slop, and it was dropping down here basically. So got the heater on to harden this again now, and what we do know is that we're gonna, so the last attempt I can do with this is to get plenty of fire cement round here and build it up and into the ridges on the exhaust, and then hopefully we will get a seal. So I'm basically drying all this out and hardening it up again now, and then we'll run the heater down and cool it so it's ready cooled, and then I can start trying to get a seal on this with the black fire cement. If it doesn't work, it's back to the drawing board. Right, let's have a little look and see how our plants are doing. Right, so these are the trees planted in the last video. Yeah, obviously nothing much happened, but they're settled in, they're still upright, and they're how we set them. So that's good news. Let's go and have a look and see if we've got any plants left in the ground for what we planted. Yep, these are the cauliflowers, and they actually appear to have took. Likewise with the garlic and the unknown cabbage, which I believe are primal, but I'm not certain. Our onions and garlic appear to still be here, but it looks like something has been digging here. A mouse, mole, vole, whatever. We'll just firm that one back in again. And these appear to be okay as well. So let's go and have a look and see if the kale have still in the ground. Excuse me. So these are the cabbages we planted back at the back end of the year, which I tidied up, and they're now starting to look quite nice. So we might get a harvest from these Aprilish time. Yep, the curly kale is still there. It's still in its place for now and seems to be taking a hold. And lo and behold, the other four are still there as well. Right, let's get some flowers in. So here I've got some mixed coloured daffodils, and here I have two sets of 40 dwarf crocus species chrysanthus mixed. So I'll get these dotted in, and we'll start with a row down here mixed between daffodils and the crocus, chrysanthemum, whatever they are. That'll be the first bed, and then we'll decide where else we're going to put some. Right, there we are. That took all of 30 minutes. So we've got 40 crocuses in here, dwarf crocuses, and about 15 to 20 daffodil bulbs as well between these trees. This bed should be really nice once they start to come through. Now it is a little bit late for planting the bulbs, but yeah, they should come through okay. Just a little tad late, but they were starting to sprout, so I thought I'd put them in and get them sorted. And same here, we've come about this wide, so we've put the daffs along the back, so they've got the fence back if we get strong winds to try and support them, because they'll be taller. We've got 40 crocuses in here as well, little dwarf crocuses, along with the daffodils, about 20 bulbs. I would have preferred the mini daffs, but I couldn't get any at the time. I just got the bag of daffodils that was there. So yeah, another jobbed, another step closer. So what I'm going to do now, yes, I know it's early, I'm going to plant some carrots, and I'm going to put in some sweet candle carrots back in this bed again, because they grew really well in here last year, so they're going in here again. And as you can see, this is quite a deep bed. I'm not going for show carrots, just edibles. Right, so here we are. I've got 3 lines in here, approximately 6 to 8 inches apart, the full length of this bed, which is I think it's 8 or 10 feet, I'm not sure. But basically just using a bamboo cane to make a depression. But what I'm going to do, what most people don't do, I'm going to take my time and put two well spaced, one in case the other doesn't germinate, and then if they do germinate, I'll only have one to pull from the 2. That's my intentions. My eyes aren't that good, but that's what I'm going to do. And to me, I've done this last year, and I did have a little bit of thinning out to do, but it's well worth spending that extra time now, putting them in as neat as you can and well spaced. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to make this out, but I've actually done them in ones. And hopefully you can see these seeds. And we've done all 3 rows now. So there was 220 carrots in that little packet, and I've still got about 70 left. So we've got quite a lot in here. So we're just going to cover them over now, give them a water, and get them underway. It really is worth taking your time. It only took me 20 minutes to do all these 3 rows. 3 rows, approximately 10 feet long. Trying patiently to drop one in every 4 to 6 inches, and then no doubt I'll have got an odd 2 there or an odd 3 here, but it really is worth the effort now and saves so much hassle and disturbance later on. Right, we're on our way. That's about 150 carrots planted in there, and all I've done is got a flat board, and I just pinched this all together, then got a flat plank and simply pressed firmly on the top, down each row, and now we're going to water them. Right, I've very quickly made myself this 8-foot frame. That bed down there where the carrots are is actually 9 feet, but this is 6 inches deep, and basically what I'm going to do is put a plastic top on this, and that's going to act like a mini coal frame just to protect the carrots if we get any frost, hopefully, and until they get underway, then they don't get pulled out by birds, etc. And I just put myself a couple of little handles on the side in that position, so when I pick it up centre it balances and I can lift it on and off that bed. So we'll get this plastic coated and then we'll get it set in place, and just like that, there it is in situ. So we're only this little bit uncovered. The carrots should still come through. These will be more protected, but they might even make it as well. And as I say, this is 5 or 6 inches high from the bed, so it's going to give them the first 5 or 6 inches to get started, and then we'll put some taller ones on. And again, it's only a few inches, 2 carrots worth or something in each row at either end, but the vast majority are now semi-protected. So I also dug a rhubarb crown from over there, which had been in a few years, but it really didn't like it over there, and because I had this surplus now as a result of moving the dwarf apricot, I decided I'd put this big large crown in here and see if it'll do any better here. And yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Right, well, that was a productive 3.5 hours. I didn't come up today with intentions of doing anything other than testing the water bottle, to be honest with you. And the fact I was late up, I just thought I'll just go and check on things mainly, and I'll do the water bottle test. So yeah, we've got all the flowers in. They were actually sitting in the dry area in the bags I bought them last year, in the daffodils and the crocuses. And they were sitting there looking at me, and I seen they were starting to sprout, and I thought, yeah, I better get them in. So they're in now. A bit late, but better late than never, as I say. So yeah, now tomorrow I won't be at the allotment because Mrs. C is in the office. I'm still on leave. But Blue, our new dog, he can't be left too long on his own. We have been training him to be left on his own, and he's doing really, really well. But we don't leave him for long periods. You know, we maybe nip to the shop and come back and he's fine. And progressively extending that so that if ever we do both end up in the office again, that he won't fret. And he's doing really, really well. He can get up the stairs now as well. So the fun begins. And if I get time, I'll slip you a little clip in of Blue before I finish this video. Blue. Hey, good boy. Sit. Sit. Good boy. He's a good boy. A good boy, are you? Hmm? Yes, he is. He's a good boy. That's Daddy's sore finger. You're not supposed to chew it. No.
Okay, 6 craft. Very good player indeed. Nicely picked up as well, Jake. Excellent stuff. Okay, next to face the chaser, it's Matt. Welcome to the show, Matt. Whereabouts you from?
I'm from Beckenham on the Wirral.
Okay, fair enough. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a football business student at the minute.
What's that?
So it's looking at the...
Right, okay, so yeah, little and often, as they say. I've enjoyed pottering again, and I've got a few more jobs done and some carrots set. Now, don't be an Alan. I've put my carrots outside early, and one of two things will happen. If we get a relatively mild winter, I'll get a good quick start. If we don't, I'll have to replant, and it'll be a wasted time. But to be honest, what time did I waste? 20 minutes? Sowed at 150 carrots. If they take, they take. If they don't, well, nothing lost. We'll pull out what there is, and then we'll replant. No big deal. If you don't try these things, you'll never know. Right, I'm going to finish my cup of coffee, shut up babbling, and make me way down home. As always, guys, thanks for all your likes, dislikes, comments, subscriptions, and your donations. And just to mention, let you know what's happening to the donations, they're going towards the little battery banks that I'm buying, and the little heat mats for the heated propagator project, and the little grow lights which work on USB. So thank you very much for your donations. That helps out, and you'll hopefully get to see the results of the experiments. Now, I know time's running short, but I'll try and get those crammed in before I get back to work. Perhaps over the weekend. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll do some testing and see how that works out. As always, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe, be practical, and keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.